Look, if anybody's got half a brain, war's never a good thing. Killing people, violence is never an answer to solve anything, really.
It is not bringing anything good in this earth. So it's just like destruction, like displacement of the people, and I'm totally against of it.
These war machines are not gonna do anything for us. I'm against every single type of war. They're preparing us for the World War III.
In fundamental sense, loss of lives on a humanity level is what we cannot allow to happen in today's day and age.
I believe I got a bit more than 2 centimeters of brains, and if you got that, there's no way you're going to like it. What they've been doing around the world, but no, not for the last few years, for decades.
Yeah.
Right? Dividing, see, the world in every way possible for one simple reason, to get more powerful and help the rich and multinationals to get stronger and stronger. They don't care about individual, about the simple people. See, they care about only how they're going to be stronger and richer.
People who are in power have to have somebody they blame for everything that goes wrong, except for them. So it's good to blame something like Russia or China because it's easily identifiable.
Capitalism, see, they are not going to accept the supremacy of other countries or other nations because the ideology is them to reign, see, to be stronger and at the top all the time. See? When they see countries or nations like China, for example, they're not very happy.
I guess they're trying to go to war for more profit, like for war corporations, and like to take resources from China as well as Ukraine from Russia.
Don't forget, Russia is one of the richest countries in the world, and also gas and oil and everything else.
I am Middle Eastern, so I know for a fact that these wars that we're told that needed to happen, or invasions that we're told that needed to happen, did not need to happen. My home country, Lebanon, copped the brunt of everything around it for years and years and years. That's why my grandparents came here, because of war. And I'm telling you right now, and anybody who's listening, the wars over there are not for the good of anybody else. It's simply for money and power.
Like, I'm just disgusted in the words I've just heard from the brother Chris right now about Albanese spending all those billions of dollars in effort to kill innocent civilians when that money can go elsewhere and help the middle class or the poorer class.
I feel like it could be used to help like more homeless people or just low-income earners in Australia rather than preparing for war with China or Russia, I suppose. Yeah.
I believe in the principles of the Socialist Party, and I believe that the billions that are getting spent on furthering the war in Ukraine should be spent on other things like education and health.
The people that really need it are not getting the money that they need, and the money is going in places where it shouldn't be going. You know, people should stand up and question it and find out what's going on. People need to rise.
Instead of spending so many billions, not millions, but billions of dollars in weapons, they should put, like here in Australia, they should put that money in education and health.
It's definitely money that could be used somewhere else, a lot better for the working class.
Actually, it would be great to help workers to increase their payments, to help them like to complete the things they want to do. It would be perfect for all the people, not only workers, for all the people. Like instead of buying stuff for war and submarines and oh my God.
I don't think that's the right idea because we should have money that should be spent for the people sleeping in the streets and other things, you know, education for our kids. But I got children as well, for our kids and, you know, to prosper life and lower their accommodation because accommodation is very expensive, very hard. People cannot afford it.
Probably the money can be used in the hospitals, in the schools, develop the social amenities for the local people.
Yeah.
So that we probably develop as a nation.
Firstly, like the housing, especially the housing prices that we have at the moment, is definitely an issue. You see the long lines that people are lining up for when they go for rental houses in the rental market. So that's definitely a massive issue at the moment in Australia.
Well, I think it's dire because people are desperate for houses. A lot of people have lost their homes because they lost their jobs, and so they're looking for rent, but they all want the cheaper rent, and there isn't really any cheap rent in Sydney if you think about it. So people spend over half their wages in rent or on paying their mortgage, even more than half their wages, and people are struggling.
I think mine will go up another $800 a month. It means that I'll have to start looking for a second job or even a third job.
The wages are not going up, and everything is expensive. Yeah, the prices are very expensive. They're going through the ceiling, and the wages have still been the same for the last 5 or 10 years.
If the salary is like adjusted with the inflation, then it should be better. But like otherwise, I can see if I go to the supermarkets nowadays, $100 means nothing.
Sometimes you have to make a decision whether you'll buy food or you'll pay your bills.
The multinationals and the capitalism, see, they try to squeeze the human beings, see, to get as much blood from them as they can. And everything they got a limit.
No matter what party's in power, it's kind of just a repeat. It's almost like a wash and rinse and repeat kind of thing. Well, they say they represent us. I like to think that they do, but a lot of the decisions that they make, if you ask the everyday person, they wouldn't agree. So I'm not too sure who they're representing. Big corporations definitely have a bit more pull than people like you and I, yes, definitely sure.
Politicians, though, I find they're almost the same. At the end of the day, they get to the top, and then whatever they promise, it doesn't get done.
I think everyone's trying to make money out of something in this election. I really do feel that the big parties are getting something out of this, and the people that miss out are the working class, and a lot of things just need to change, in my opinion.
In Lebanon, back in 2019, we started a revolution. Yeah, and we tried as much as we can to just get a little bit of our rights, working rights. But it didn't succeed because the big parties are they want their thingy.
I think people have a lot of power, but just that they do not know as the collective how they can probably overthrow a government.
I feel like socialism is the only way for us to have true social equality. It's a call that all workers should hear and all workers should fight for, because it's our future that we're fighting for.
That's what we need the people to think about. They need to fight for the future.